I am 21 years old. I graduated college last year, studied computing. I've done all sorts of things on the side, worked with charities, CYN, Friends of the Earth, Babasa, mostly with environmental activism. Picked that up as a hobby and that kind of grew into an obsession really. And I enjoy doing things like that. So that kind of really nicely segued into working for a charity here. It was May 2023 when I first moved to Bristol. I wasn't in college yet. I was bored, new city. I wanted to explore. I went into Google. I was like, what can I do in Bristol? Loads of things popped up. But I really liked the idea of drop-in sessions. Never done anything like that before because back home, things like youth centers, things like that are not very, very common. So I was really interested in what that would look like. Came by and that was my first interaction with CYN. Really positive, really enjoyed talking to people. They seemed very interested in who I was, what I was doing at the time, things like that. That kind of like snowballed into everything else later on. So that was my first exposure to CYN. So welcome Wednesdays and Thursdays. I was consistently attending at least once a week. Afterwards, there was the Young Leaders program, which was kind of like once you had outgrown Welcome Wednesdays and Thursdays. So Young Leaders was a group of young people who attend Welcome Wednesdays and Thursdays, and they have a say in running the sessions, like shaping it into what it could look like moving forward in the future. So I took part in that. Weirdly enough, it was one meeting and then that was put on pause. And then I think it was 2 years later when Young Leaders was restarted again. In the middle of all of that, CYN has invited me to events, festivals, to volunteer. There was also We the 33. My first event with We the 33 was a hustings. It was for local elections, if I'm not mistaken. It was interesting because it was around that time when I was exploring into things outside of academics. So politics and social activism kind of appealed to me. CYN was hosting hustings. I attended that, interacted with politicians. Usually, the way I see things, people start off really small and then build up. For me, I was just like thrown into the deep end. Yeah, this is how you go and talk to someone. Go do your thing. So it was like being thrust into something you really don't know much about. And I think being in an environment where things like that is really, really encouraged, really helped with a positive outcome in that regard. I had finished college. It was summer of 2025. I was like, university next. I've got 3 months. Let's find a job. CYN was advertising for a casual role. I quite like the flexibility because I wasn't tied down. Went off to university in September with like a fixed position. So casual role really worked out for me in that regard. After coming here for 2.5 years, I knew the people, I know the building. Amazing place. Quite honestly, this feels like a second home. So yeah, they advertised for a permanent position. I took that, got the role like 5 minutes after the interview, which was crazy. 2.5 years since coming to Bristol, lots of ups and downs. Before I started working here, CYN felt like an escape from all that was going on, chilling out, meeting people close to my age, taking a break from everything happening. For me, I think that really, really helped the last 2.5 years. Without that, I think I would have lost my mind. My family and I, we came to this country as asylum seekers. We used to live in a hotel not 5 minutes from here. One thing that CYN had arranged for my mum and I was to come every week in here to cook because the food in the hotel is terrible. And without CYN offering that kind of support, I don't think the last 2.5 years would have been as good or bearable, if you want to put it that way. And all kinds of other things as well. College support, references, something that I wasn't expecting to always have at hand. The staff here are lovely. They're doing their job, but they actually put in the effort to know what's going on with you, what's going on in your life. And I think that really helped the last 2.5 years. Lots of people actually. Some of them have left, but I'm still in touch with them. It might seem silly. I thought so when I was a few years younger. Like, you're a man, gotta man up. Sure, it may work, but at one point it was just everything would just come tumbling out. And having someone to talk to, someone to just lend you a ear and just sit down and listen to, I think is really, really important, especially when you reach that kind of breaking point. In terms of career, I've thought about it a lot. Obviously, I enjoy tech and software and that kind of thing, but I've been looking into ways where that can kind of intersect with charity work. So ideally, in terms of a career, something like that. Short term, maybe university. I'm also looking into degree apprenticeships. We shall see. I know what I want to do, but at the same time, I don't necessarily have like a very strict plan in place. It's just exploring and seeing what works best for me.